All right. I've been teaching since 1987. And I can say with confidence in those 30-some years of teaching that students have not changed. Kids are kids, generation after generation. But what has changed is the expectations, the demands, the stressors that they're under. Those have increased exponentially, both in number and in intensity. Yet despite this, every year I see kids thriving under some incredibly difficult circumstances. Like a girl I'm going to tell you about tonight, I'm going to call her Gloria. At the time, I was teaching in the River Rouge schools. River Rouge, a tiny, very high poverty district that borders southwest Detroit. I was in middle school as a special ed teacher, and about a week after the school year started, she was added to my caseload. She had just transferred to our school, and she was listed. I just had her name, and she was listed as EI, and I didn't look through her paperwork yet. I met her in the co-taught middle school math class I was teaching in. You know, there's a math teacher, and then there's a special ed teacher to supplement them. It's a classroom of 42 students, 17 of whom have IEPs, individual educational plans, special ed students. And I met her, I'm trying to make her feel at home, and that's a stress by itself, that teaching situation. She seemed very nice. I told her the next day I'd be calling her out to do some testing because, when you get a new special ed student in your new district, you have to do a new IEP, a new plan, make sure they have the supports they need. I call her out the next day. I do all the testing, and then I'm just talking to her, trying to get get a feel for, what supports she's going to need. And she's talking, she's very open about the situation and her family and her home. And she's in an incredibly difficult situation. But she seems incredibly in control, very confident, very self-aware. We're finishing up, and I said, I hope you feel at home here at Sabbath Middle School. And there's a lot of really good teachers, a wonderful social worker, and some really nice kids. I said, you seem like you're very nice. You'll do fine here. She says, nice? I am not nice. You do not know me. I said, she said, my last school, I was suspended more days than I was in school. I said, well, I didn't know the old you. She goes, oh, if somebody messes with me, I'll mess them up. And she's just going off about just angry. And I said, well, I don't know the old you. All I know is the person I met yesterday and the person I've been talking to. And you seem very nice, very confident, a caring person. She said, you just don't know. I said, how about this? I will call you New Gloria. And she smiles. And that was our thing for the rest of the year. Whenever I'd see her in the hall or in class, I'd say, how's it going, New Gloria? She was, oh, good, Mr. Hejka. Everything's going good. And she was New Gloria for the rest of the year. She never got in a fight. Never. And I read through her paperwork from this old school she was at, one of those fly-by-night, for-profit charters. And it was like, she was suspended more than she was in school. It was crazy. And they said, you cannot be allowed to move between classes without an adult escort and all that. But she made it through the entire school year without a single fight, a confrontation, suspension, detention, nothing, till May. I wasn't in that math class that day. I had another IEP, and I hear she got in a fight. Some kids come and tell me because they know I'd been looking out for her, and they go, oh, Mr. Hejka, Gloria got in a fight. I go, but it wasn't her fault. They're all making sure to tell me it wasn't her fault. Some other group of kids had been messing with her, and they're at their table doing their cooperative learning kind of thing, and moved from one table to another. And some girl came up behind her and grabbed her from behind because Gloria wasn't taking a bait. They'd been trying to entice her into fighting, and she wasn't taking it. And the girl grabbed her, but once she grabbed her, they said, oh my God, Mr. Hejka, you should have seen it. Gloria popped up, grabbed the girl by the hair, slammed her on the table, bam! Fight was over. With just some residual cursing. She's, but the rest of the year she was fine till the last day of school. Last day of school, we all go out, all the staff's out front, because the last day of school, kids get into some hijinks. So we're all out front, and I see a group of kids I don't recognize. They're not from our school. And they've got this kid against the wall, one of our students, and he looks scared, and his friends look scared. So I go over there to intervene, and I stand between them and them, and I tell them to, they got to go. And they don't know me, so they're like, fuck you, ain't going there, and they're cursing. And, so I'm trying to move our kids along, And somebody rushes by me. I got this, Mr. H. It's Gloria. But Gloria apparently knows the young man, the aggressor from the other group. And she puts around and I said, Marcus, you don't want to do this. And she starts walking him away. And he's mad and he's yelling. But she's got a firm, but just kind of loving grip on him as she's walking him away. And I get our kids moving the other direction. And she's walking away. And I'm watching her, just admiring her. And I think, and I say out loud to nobody in particular, I love the new Gloria. And she hears me, and she turns around and she mouths these words to me too.